Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode, powered by Hayabusa. It's all about the kicking debate. Where should your hands be when throwing your round kicks? All right, in today's episode, we're talking about the big kicking debate. Where should your hand position be when kicking? And I actually get this asked a lot, and I've been sent many videos on different experts and masters of martial arts explaining where the hand position should be. Now, sometimes, okay, especially when I first started my career, I was really known for keeping a good high guard. And a lot of times when I kick, my hands would be still glued to my head. But you'll also see me other times kick where my lead hand kind of comes out, so this way I can defend myself and add a counterbalance. So let's get into the detail. Why do I move my hands first, okay? So a lot of people say it's mandatory every time you kick, right, you bring the hand out, okay? Now, what is the purpose of this handout? Well, first, if say my opponent moves, right, if I throw my kick, I don't want to spin all the way around and expose my back to be countered, right? So what this arm does, it acts as a counterbalance. So when I throw my kick, this hand here stops me from spinning right through. If I keep my hands pinned to my head while I try to spin through, it's really hard for me to control my balance all the way around. But as soon as I throw my arm here, I get that counterbalance from that rotation, and I'm able to come back to my stance, okay? So that's a lot of times why you'll do it, okay? But it's also important, look when I kick, my opponent's in front of me. So having some form of frame hand to defend myself from maybe some counter punches, that's also the benefit of having that arm come out. So the big debate ends up being, should your hand be out or do you keep your hands up while you kick? Now, it's a big loaded debate, and to say one is the only way and the other one is completely wrong would be incorrect, because there's times to have your hands glued to your head when you kick, and there's times when you can loosen up your hands. There's even times, if I'm throwing my left kick sometimes, if I know my distance management, my hands don't have to be involved. So I could even keep my hands down. If I pull back and kick, right, I'm still able to kick, but I'm using distance management. My hands don't have to be there. But if I want maximum power, if I want the rotation, I'm gonna have to start building the hand out. Now, my big question, okay, to you is understanding the range, okay? So if my hand has to go down, right, to me, it's the range, okay? I'm in punch range right now, so I could punch my opponent could punch me. So if I sit here in mid-range and I'm gonna throw a low kick, boom, having this hand come down here is exposing my head to a counter punch in that mid-range. I don't want to drop my hands in mid-range. So a lot of times in mid-range, I'll keep my hands up and then I'll still chop because I can still block with my high guard to be able to defend punches coming. When do you want to use your kicks a lot versus the punches? So I'll block some punches and then I'll quickly counter with my low kicks or my calf kick, and then I can still have my guard up. And it also lets me fight a little bit better. If I throw this hand down, and then it takes a while for my hands to come back up to throw my punches. But if I can stay here, boom, kick, and then look how fast my hands can throw after I throw that kick. So usually, okay, I'm gonna say usually, okay, in the mid-range, in that close, tight range, I prefer to have my hands up. But say, for example, I'm very good at cutting off line. I could step off line, say the cross is coming off my head. I can get off line, evade the cross that's coming down my side, and come back. But if I sit in mid-range with my head on center line and I kick like this, I'm gonna get countered all day, okay? So understanding that if I'm gonna move my hand, getting off line is gonna be better for you, okay? Very important. Now, let's move back a little bit. Now, for example, I'm a little longer. I'm one step away from hitting my target, okay? So now one step in, one step out. Now at this point here, okay, this is where I could start opening up my arms a little bit. So you'll see on the body kick, because of that range, right, I know they have to step in to touch me. So at this point here, I can kick, okay? I bring a little bit of a lean back on my kick. This way I know I'm evading the punch. If I'm gonna stay up straight and kick like this, okay, not very good. I'm gonna get countered. So understanding that range. So you'll see from here, 1, Okay, I'm stepping in, but when I kick, look at my head position, my hand comes back and I'm able to stay long. Same thing with my left kick, right? When I switch, I don't switch close to my target because I know the counter punch is coming. So I switch, I can bring my arm out and come back. As I go inside, I'll keep my hands up for my low kick, and I could move my arm for the body kick. All because I understand the range that I can be hit at, okay? Now, a few little things to think about while you do it, okay? First things first. One, the counters. Now, when I said here, in range here, I can hit, and I can come back with my hands faster if I keep my hands pinned to my head. As I get more mid-range, okay, where I said one step in, I could drop my hands, but I have to be aware of my head position, how forward and how back it is. Now, a lot of times, right, your hand position, even if your hands are up or offline, okay, getting offline is going to be better. So when I throw my left kick, okay, I'm going to step to my right, okay? I can get offline this way. When I throw my right kick, I get offline this way, which lets me move my hands. If I'm going to keep my head on center line while I kick, then I prefer a high guard, okay? So understanding head position and your distance between you and your partner. Now, I showed two variations, right? But there really is a third one that's really not talked about a lot, because when I'm long, look, I'm long. I don't even have to worry about this hands. If I'm good, right, I'm going to be leaning back and to be able to avoid the punch. Okay, when I'm inside, right, I'll sit in high guard. Now, the one I will use more of that in-between range, when I kick, I don't have to have a full arm out, and I'm not going to pin it to my head. I go in between and I create more of like a forearm frame. So when I kick, I'll be here. So at least this way, I have a chicken wing, a forearm frame to be able to defend myself at all times, okay? So closest range, look, my hands are up, defending punches. As I move a little bit back, I'll use that forearm frame to be able to defend the punches. If I go long, I might extend my arm nice and long to be able to come back and throw that kick. Now, a good reference for people who are looking this as in a little bit more advanced way, right? When you're inside that mid-range, right, where I said keeping your hands pinned, they don't necessarily have to stay pinned because you're in some form of clinch exchange here, okay? So I could even from this range, if I don't want to keep my hands, I can create a push-off, and then I could attack because they're moving backwards, right? I'm not so worried about being countered, right? Say I'm pressure fighting, okay? Say I want to pressure them forward, I kick, and then I keep pressuring. High guard is going to help you that way. If I'm pressuring and I push them off, I low kick and then I exit, I can drop my hand a little bit more because I'm not bringing that pressure, okay? Now, one last little tip for everybody. If you want to practice keeping your hands a little bit more dynamic in mid-range, watch this little drill that I do, okay? I'll throw my jab, okay, because this is considered hand fighting, hand control, hand pins, okay? So if I'm here, okay, I'm using this lead frame. When I throw my rear kick, instead of keeping my hand pinned to my head or fully dropping it here where it's dangerous, I'm going to use my backhand as hand control while I kick. So I'll throw my jab here, just to give you an example. When I do throw my kick, I'm going to put my backhand as a frame on the bag, so I'm controlling their hands and I'll exit. So you'll see more of this. See how I have control of the hands? As I kick, I replace my frame, and then I could exit out safely. Jab, cross, and control. Now you notice when I throw the kick here, I bring my thumb down, so this way here I'm protecting and I have a little bit more coverage, right? Now the other benefit of bringing my thumb down, when I throw my kick and I bring my thumb down, look what happens to my shoulder, right? My shoulder starts protecting my chin. So if someone's trying to counter me while I kick, right, I have that ability to, look, okay? My chin is protected in that shoulder. Okay, last little review. Where should your hands be when you kick? Well, to me, it depends on your range and what you're trying to do. If you're pressure fighting somebody, high guard might be the best because you're looking to hit and maybe counter and stay inside and pressure nice and tight. As I move back, I can start opening up my hand because there's less risk of being counterpunched. right? So I showed you different types of frames where I can do a half frame almost here, where I kick with more of a bent arm, right? I'm kicking more here because I'm in closer range. As I'm further out, look how long my range is. Boom! Then I can start bringing that arm right out and being thrown and counterbalancing myself. Boom! Right? This arm's gonna help me generate more power and it's gonna keep me in my stance a little bit longer. Right? Now for my advanced followers, I gave you that little tip on the inside. To use hand control, hand fighting. So I'll use my jab, I'll replace my jab hand with the frame from the backhand, and then I come up. So here, boom, right? Boom, boom. So every time I throw that low kick in mid-range, I'm bringing a hand control, okay? Versus high guard, no connection, versus connecting and hand fighting with the hands, okay? So many different ways to be able to have your hand position. Now, fighting is dynamic. It's not one way, right? You have to have the ability to adapt. If you're high guarding someone trying to kick and you're getting countered, you're gonna have to hand fight a little bit. You might have to move. You might have to use evasion, move your head a little bit, move your feet as best as you can, okay? So it is a loaded debate, a big question, but understand that it's not as easy as black and white, yes or no. You have to have the ability to do it all. All right, hope you enjoyed today's lesson and it got you thinking. That's the main thing. Don't always put yourself in a little box. Understand the bigger concept. I hope this got you thinking a little bit better, okay? Make sure you like and subscribe to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA and support the channel by supporting our sponsors. We have Hayabusa by going to Hayabusa Fight, linked in the description below. Perfect Sports Nutrition. Bazooka 20 gets you 20% off your supplements. Last but not least, bazookatraining.com online curriculum taught by me, where every single week you get brand new videos. We have home videos, tutorials, sparring drills, bag work, pad work, and an archive library that's probably approaching 500-600 videos by this point, maybe even more. So endless learning. The best part of it, it's less than $10 a month. You have your main gym membership plus your online learning. That's how you're going to maximize your training and your learning. We'll see you next time here at Bazooka Training and Kickboxing. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, one, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website's going to give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're going to be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forum section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.